Hello and welcome to today's webinar. In today's webinar, I am going to be covering the most popular and common myths that are still surrounding the health and fitness space that needs to die. So before we kick things off, I just thought I would give you a little intro about me. So I have been working in the health and fitness space now for the last 9 years. I initially started out as a personal trainer on the gym floor, and I've done this for 5 years, helping women get stronger, get fitter, achieve amazing weight loss results, improving the confidence in the gym. And then lockdown hit, and I took the business online. And this is where my 8 week fat loss transformation program for women was born. And I have been doing that the last 4 years. So, what I basically do in a nutshell is I help women achieve sustainable transformations, and not just physically, but holistically as well. So, physical, mental, emotional. And I always say this is more than just a journey of weight loss. It's all about becoming the best version of you. So that is exactly what I do. And the reason why I do what I do is because when I first started out on my fitness journey, I was someone who was very confused about all of the conflicting information that was out there on what you should do to lose weight, what you should eat, how you should train, how many times a week you should exercise. I was just very, very confused, and I made all of the mistakes that you could possibly make on your fitness journey. And starting out my journey wasn't enjoyable. It led to a lot of restriction. It led to a lot of deprivation, cutting out things, cutting calories really low, not going to social events, sacrificing family meals, and it made me very, very miserable. And it consumed me for a long, long time, which led to a very poor relationship with food, feeding certain foods, feeding gaining weight. I had really poor body image issues, and this stayed with me for years. And it also led to me losing my menstrual cycle for 5 years. And I managed to overcome all of them things through lots of so much education, but also a lot of experience too. And I'm just so passionate about helping people achieve a transformation in an easy and enjoyable way so that they don't have to make the mistakes I did, and they can actually achieve their goals without having to feel miserable, without having to cut out their favorite foods, without having to say no to social occasions or going out for meals with friends or having a drink with the partner. I want to teach you how you can live a life that you love while still achieving your goals. So that's my whole bag. I'm all about balance. I'm not about restriction. I'm not about deprivation. I have a no restrictions policy. And that is exactly why I do what I do. And to date, I have had over maybe 5,000 women on my 8 week transformation program, and transform thousands of lives of women all around the world. And I absolutely love what I do. Now, my promise to you today is you're going to walk away with so many truths and so much clarity about popular beliefs that are floating around the internet when it comes to losing body fat or achieving your goals, so that you have a clear path to finally seeing results, which is what we all want, right? So I'm going to cover popular myths and clarify what actually works so that you can approach your results with confidence. So, are you someone who is frustrated by confusing diet advice that just seems impossible to stick to? If so, you are not alone. And this is the common issue that I had when I first started out, and also the same issue that most of my clients have when they first join the program or they start working with me. They're just so confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they're doing right from wrong. They're second guessing themselves. And then also they're not able to adhere to it in the long run because it just doesn't feel right for them. It doesn't work for them. So what I aim to do is remove all this confusion so that you have confidence in your own knowledge when it comes to losing weight and achieving your goals. And most importantly, sticking to something. That's the most important thing. So we're going to get into the myths now. And one of the most common myths is you have to cut out carbohydrates to lose weight. Like, who's heard this one? And these myths have all got to come somewhere. So there is some partial truth inside of these, but then they've been taken out of context. So when people say or they think you have to cut out carbs to lose weight, it's because if you do cut out carbs, then what's going to happen is you will have a big drop on the scales. Now, this is just scale weight loss. This is not fat loss, okay? And scale weight loss or weight loss and fat loss are two completely different things. So what happens when we consume carbohydrates? For every 1 gram of carbohydrate we consume, we also hold on to 3 grams of water. So if you have 100 grams of carbohydrates in the form of potato, you will also hold 300 grams of water. Okay. So now you weigh 400 grams heavier, which is 0.4 gram, which is 0.4 pounds, so nearly half a pound heavier. So if you get on the scales after maybe a day of consuming carbohydrates or the day after, you will see that the scales are up. And people might assume, oh my God, I've gained weight by consuming carbohydrates, and you haven't. You're heavier due to the carbohydrates still being stored as glycogen in your body, but then also the water retention, the water that you're retaining that is being stored with the carbohydrates. And then people assume that when they cut out carbohydrates and they have a big drop on the scales, that this is fat loss, and it's not. So you lose, when you cut out carbohydrates, the carbohydrates that are stored in your muscles as glycogen, obviously we get rid of them. But then comes with that is all the water that you was retaining because of the carbohydrates. So the big drop on the scales, it is not fat. It is purely just water weight, okay? And this will only happen in the first few days or the first week of you going on a sort of no carb diet, let's say. But this is not fat loss. This is just weight loss, and it's 90% water, I'm gonna say. Now, for some people, cutting out carbohydrates will create a deficit and essentially help them lose weight. But with cutting out carbohydrates is something I just don't recommend. Like, why would you do that? Like, carbohydrates are amazing. So, they play a vital part in your diet. That our body's main source of energy, our body's main source of fuel. So we need them for performance, we need them for our brain energy, to think, cognitive function, to enjoy. Like, who doesn't love carbohydrates? And I just feel like when you cut something out your diet, restriction leads to rebellion every time. And you want to be approaching your diet with the mindset of sticking to this forever. So if you're looking at your diet now thinking you've chosen this diet to lose some weight, and you're thinking, I can't stick to this for the next 6 weeks, 6 months, or 6 years, then this approach isn't for you. We want a sustainable approach that you can adhere to for the long run, because what you've got to do to lose the weight is also what you have to do to maintain the weight loss. And we're not just going on a weight loss journey to lose a bit of weight, are we? We're going on this journey to transform for good. We don't want to lose the weight and then gain it back again in 2 weeks' time. That's not what we want to do. We ultimately want to lose the weight and sustain that transformation for a long period of time. So you do not have to cut out carbohydrates to lose weight. All you need to do is create an energy deficit that will allow you to lose weight. That's the only way you can lose weight. You don't need to cut out anything. You don't need to cut out any macronutrients or any food groups. You just need to create a calorie deficit which contains the food you love and enjoy. Myth 2, and this is probably for women, but women sometimes think that they don't want to lift weights because it'll make them bulky. And this probably comes from like bodybuilders. When we look at bodybuilders and the massive and the muscly and the bulky, and we think, oh God, I don't want to look like that. That's not the look I'm going for. I want to be sort of lean, toned and defined. I want to get smaller. This can actually put people off lifting weights because of that fear. They fear they're going to get bulky. Now, the only way you can get bulky is if you eat in a calorie surplus, meaning you eat more calories than you burn per day, so that now you're in an energy surplus. So you've got energy there, which your body's going to use as fuel and also to feed your muscles to allow them to grow. But we can only grow muscle in a calorie surplus. That's it. If you're in a calorie deficit, or if you're eating at maintenance calories, you will gain a small amount of muscle tissue, but not a lot, because women have a completely different hormonal profile to men. We don't have as much testosterone, so we just don't build muscle as easily. And building muscle is one of the hardest things that you will do. It takes so long. So it's not an overnight thing. You're not going to pick a little dumbbell up and because you've done some bicep curls, have big massive arms. It doesn't work like that. It's not something that happens fast or instantly. It takes a lot of hard work over an extended period of time to gain muscle. And women fear that if they have muscle on them, they will look like this, they'll look bulky. When in fact, what will actually happen when you lift weight and you get stronger and you gain lean muscle tissue, then this is called body recomposition. So you will essentially, if you're in a calorie deficit and or maybe at maintenance and you're weight training, you'll be dropping body fat and retaining muscle tissue and also accruing new muscle tissue, so that you're dropping the body fat but you're keeping your shape on you. And this is where the lean, tone, defined look comes into it, because you need the muscle underneath so that when the fat comes off, it shows the muscle shape, the muscle tone, the muscle definition. And without the muscle there, you can look a bit skinny fat, which is what we don't want. So lifting weights, I am so passionate about lifting weights. I'm a massive advocate for it. The more muscle mass you have on you as a woman, it helps us as we age with like age-related diseases called like osteoporosis, sarcopenia, it helps improve our bone density, and also as we age as women, our muscle mass massively declines. So lifting weights is just amazing from a health standpoint, also from an aesthetic standpoint. And plus, we actually burn more calories. Our metabolism goes up when we have more muscle mass on us, because muscle tissue is more anabolic than fat, which means it burns more calories by having more muscle tissue on you. So please do not fear lifting weights. Lifting weights will not make you bulky. The only way you will get bulky is if you eat in a calorie surplus over an extended period of time. It's not something that's going to happen instantly or quickly. Okay, myth number 3. Eating little and often is best for fat loss, as it boosts your metabolism. So some people will think that they need to eat little and often because it's like stoking a fire. They assume they associate like their metabolism is like a fire, and you stoke it every now and again to keep it burning, and it's just not the case. So the only way we can boost our metabolism is basically through like having a higher protein diet, having more muscle mass on us. But there is no association from the research that shows whether you eat all your calories in one sitting or all your calories over 4 meals per day helps with fat loss. It doesn't matter. It all comes with fat loss. It all comes down to adherence at the end of the day, and we're all completely different. So you just have to find something that works for you. But eating little and often does not boost your metabolism. You just have to find an eating pattern that works for you and your appetite and your lifestyle. And some people will eat 3 times a day. Some people will have 3 meals and 3 snacks in between the meals. Some people will just have 1 big meal of an evening. Everyone is completely different. There's no right or wrong way. The best thing for fat loss is a calorie deficit adhered to in the long term. Myth number 4, you can choose where you want to lose fat from. So some people might say, yeah, I just really want to lose my belly fat. Oh yeah, I want to tone up me bingo wings, the back of my arms. I really want to lose fat on where my bra sits. Like I want me like the top of my legs to tone up and things like this. And this is called spot reduction, but spot reduction is not a thing. Unfortunately, we can't choose where we lose fat from, and it's really annoying. And usually it's the very last place that we want it to come off that comes off. Yeah, it's just, it doesn't work like that. If this was the case, then we'd all be walking around with flat stomachs, big bums. But it doesn't work this way, unfortunately. So what happens is when you're in a calorie deficit, your overall total body fat percentage reduces over time. And the longer you stay in a deficit, the more you adhere to your deficit, then the faster you're going to drop body fat, essentially. So it's all about consistency and adherence when it comes to dropping body fat and being in your calorie deficit. But we can't choose where we lose weight from. So people might say, oh, you need to do so many sit-ups a day to do this. You need to do so many squats a day to achieve this. You need to do so many bicep curls or tricep dips to achieve toned arms. And it just doesn't work. What you can do is you can get definitely strengthen an area through weight training so that when the fat does come off, you you like it is more toned and lean and sort of defined because you've got that muscle tone underneath, you've got that muscle shape underneath. So when the fat comes off, the muscle will appear. So you can definitely train an area to become stronger and get muscle tissue there so that when the fat comes off, you can see it. But unfortunately, yeah, spot reduction is not a thing, my loves. We can't choose where we lose fat from, so don't be trying to do so many sit-ups a day or so many squats to like lose belly fat or so many squats to build up to lose weight from your legs or your bum. Focus on creating a calorie deficit, one that you can adhere to for the long term and be consistent with it, and that's where you're gonna get the best results from fat loss from. Myth number 5, how many of you have thought this? I'm just not losing weight because I'm not eating enough, or you've heard that the reason why you're not losing weight is because you're not eating enough. And this isn't true. So this is a myth. And some people think this can happen because your body goes into starvation mode. Something that occurs when you've been in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time is something called metabolic adaptation. And this simply means that when you've lost a certain when you lose weight, you now weigh less. So now that you weigh less, you burn less calories. So that means you need to consume less calories now so that you don't gain weight because your maintenance has changed now because you weigh less. Does that make sense? So if I weigh what I do now and my maintenance calories is 2000, but then I lose a stone, my maintenance now might be 1700 calories because I am a lot lighter now, so my body doesn't burn as much energy to carry me around all day. I'm lighter, so I expend less calories. And people can think that they're not losing weight anymore because they're simply not eating enough, and it's not the case. It's just maybe there's been some metabolic adaptation that occurs, and if this isn't something that is going to completely stop you from losing weight or make weight loss impossible. It just means that you just need to rejig your calories again and reset your point, really, your calorie deficit. That's all you need to do. And there was a study done called the Minnesota starvation experiment where they took like I think it was in the 60s or the 70s, might have even been earlier, and they took a group of men and they basically put them on a semi-starvation diet for I want to say about 4 months, I think it was. And all of these men lost a significant amount of weight. They were basically skin and bone. So that study basically dispelled this myth because even though they were on a semi-starvation diet, they still lost weight. And what will happen is when your body doesn't want you to lose, your body's very, very clever. And when your body doesn't want you to lose any more weight, it'll start doing things to prevent you from actually burning energy so that it doesn't take you into a calorie deficit. For example, you might stop fidgeting as less. So the way I'm talking now with my hands, it'll stop you from doing that because this is burning energy. Movement burns energy. It'll stop you blinking as much. I know that in the study it says that they were getting them to walk like down the road, but they were avoiding curbs, like they were going around the curb so they didn't have to step down and step back up the incline. Like that's how like where they were mentally. But yeah, basically this is a myth. Like your body, there's no such thing as starvation mode. Your body will not hold on to fat because you're not eating enough and it thinks you're going to starve it so that it's holding on to fat because it's scared that you're not going to feed it. Like it doesn't work like that. So the only reason you'll be not losing weight is simply because you are not in a calorie deficit. You might think you're in a calorie deficit and you're doing all the things that are required of a calorie deficit, but if you're not losing weight, then you are not in a calorie deficit. Be all and end all. And myth number 6 is that eating at night causes weight gain. And the reason for this is because if you're usually what happens if you're someone that eats at night, this is where a lot of overindulgence overindulgences or binge eating or over consuming food will come into it. Like it's a time where people are relaxed of an evening, they'll get the chocolate out, they'll get the popcorn out, and they'll be on the couch mindless eating, and before you know it, you've sank like 1,000 calories of chocolate and snacks and crap. Um, and they assume that the eating of an evening is what's causing the weight gain, but it's not. It's the accumulation of the calories they're consuming in the evening that are taking them into a calorie surplus that is making them gain weight, not the fact that they're eating it after dark or after 7 o'clock. It's got nothing to do with it. It all comes down to your calorie intake as to whether you will lose weight or not. And if you took all of your calories for the day, and you ate them at 8 o'clock at night, every day you would still lose weight. It does not matter. Your body does not know the time. And it doesn't care, actually. It doesn't care either. Doesn't matter what time of day or night you eat your calories. That's completely up to you. But eating at night does not cause weight gain. Okay. What causes weight gain is eating in a calorie surplus and eating more calories than you burn per day. So if you're someone that struggles with cravings of an evening, just make sure that you keep calories back so that you can enjoy something in the evening that's going to curb your sweet craving or whatever craving it is, and allows you to stay on track within your calories so that you still make progress and lose weight. Now, there was meant to be 2 more images here, and I'm not sure why they haven't worked, but I just wanted to share with you a couple of results from what the girls have achieved that I have worked with over the last few months. And seems there's only one. I'll just talk about Lauren. So Lauren's been with me since March, the end of March, and we're now middle of November. And Lauren has lost 4.5 stone up to now. This is an old picture. This is actually from August. So she's lost even more weight since then. And Lauren has 2 kids. She runs a business. She works full time. She goes away every weekend to the caravan, and she's managed to do this, to still achieve this incredible result without sacrificing a social life, without like removing a favorite food. She didn't exercise, I don't think, for the first 8 weeks, but then we've started introducing home workouts now. She started going on her walks, and now she's actually started doing the Couch to 5K, and she's starting to run now. So Lauren's had an incredible journey, and I wanted to share Lauren's journey with you because she was someone that believed all of these myths. She was fearful of weight training for that reason. She was fearful of like eating carbohydrates. She was fearful of eating late at night. She thought that she had to eat little and often. And with the 8-week program, I do so much education. There's so many incredible resources. There's weekly live coaching calls, and Lauren overcome all of these things purely through the education and the support that the program gives. So Lauren is a very, very busy woman, and she has still been able to do this easily and enjoyably without hating her life, without sacrificing anything, and just feel great while she's doing it. And she is the perfect definition of someone who has completely transformed themselves, their body, but their whole life as well. She's now so much a better role model to the children. Like the children are developing positive nutritional habits, even a partner. They're exercising more as a family, and Lauren is just so much happier in herself. So well done, Lauren. But this is the kind of results that we are getting, these incredible life-changing results. And now that you know the truth behind these myths, let me show you a way to finally get results without the guesswork. And this is introducing 8 weeks with Amy. So again, I'm not sure why these 3 haven't worked, but these are just a couple of results that you can achieve in 8 weeks' time. So I think the majority of these people have lost around 2 stone in the 8 weeks. And yeah, I think they speak for themselves. Like you can clearly see how much they've all toned up, like fitting back into old jeans, fitting back into old clothes, like so much more leaner, toned, defined, complete different body shape. And this is my 8-week program that I have been running for the last 6 years and helped like thousands of women like these completely change their life, and I can also help you too. So the beauty with my 8-week program is I remove all of the guesswork for you. It's a completely done for you program, so you do not have to think. And that my aim and intention with the program is to get you to develop positive habits that are going to support you, that you can sustain for the long run, and ultimately help you create a routine that works for you and your lifestyle, so it doesn't feel overwhelming, it doesn't feel like an inconvenience, and you can actually start including healthy habits within your day to day that don't feel like a chore, and to make you lose weight and feel better. Like, all of these girls will say things like they have so much more energy, they don't feel fatigued in the morning, don't crash in the afternoons, they're in a much better, more positive headspace, they're more optimistic, clothes are fitting better, they're more confident now, feel comfortable taking the clothes off in front of the partner, having sex with the lights off. All of these things are non-scale victories that we celebrate in the group, and I'll get to non-scale victories in a second. But my 8-week program is designed to help women achieve a sustainable transformation in 8 weeks with a method that they can sustain forever. So I promise that this will be the last diet that you'll ever do. That's my promise with the 8-week program. You will never do another diet again in your life, because I'm going to teach you a way to lose weight that you can basically utilize forever. And included with that, you get obviously your Done For You nutrition program. So there's no calorie counting, which is incredible. Home or gym workouts on our exclusive 8 app, supplement advice. And the most important thing that you get with the program is support, accountability, and guidance every single day, and a weekly check-in, and also a weekly live coaching call. And these are and also a lot of education. And I can say, oh yeah, the program has this, the nutrition plan, workout program, etc. But that is not what is going to get you the result. What gets somebody results is support, having someone in your corner when you're struggling or you're feeling confused and you need some help, being accountable, having someone to be like, right, are you doing these things that you said you were going to do? They're calling you out on your bullshit and your excuses, providing you with education on the topic that you feel confused about. Um, these are all the things that is going to help somebody get a result. These are the things that are required to get to a result, and that's what the program does. So this is what my program helps women overcome and how it helps it. So I've got a lot of unique methods and processes that I use within my programs that I teach at. And one of the main things or one of the main reasons why people don't achieve results is because of the all or nothing mentality, the all or nothing approach, or a perfectionism mindset, which could look like, if I can't do, I don't know, if I've set myself a 10,000 step a day goal and I can't achieve that, then I'm going to do nothing, rather than think, well, do you know what? I'll just do what I can today, and I'll try and make it up over the next few days. Now, we approach this and overcome this with my progress over perfection method. So this is a mantra that I use and I drill into everybody, and we focus on being consistent and focusing on making progress over being perfect, because perfect is an ideal that we're trying to chase that just does not exist. It sets us up for failure. It puts so much pressure on us. And it's the main reason why people give up, and it doesn't even exist, and it doesn't matter. Your results come from what you do sometimes, not what you do most of the time, not what you do sometimes. Okay. So the next one is losing weight without having to sacrifice family meals also, because my approach includes like a flexible nutrition plan that allows family-friendly eating using my 3-to-1 method. So you can achieve your goals without having to have separate meals or cook about 10 different teas. And this is a method that I teach within the program. Weekend treats, ruining progress. Again, this is another one. So I have so many Monday to Friday diets starting, so a good Monday to Friday, but then as soon as the weekend comes around, you lose track. And this is an approach I use called the Social 5-2 method, which allows you to enjoy social occasions without compromising your results. One of the best things that I think I do really, really well with the program is helping people remove the negative relationships they have with the scales by focusing on non-scale victories and also scale education. And then food focus and calorie counting with my Done For You nutrition program that literally removes all of the guesswork so that you just pick and choose what you love and enjoy. There's no foods that are off limits. There's unconditional permission to eat whatever you want. I just give you a structure to follow to make sure that you're within a calorie deficit, you're hitting your protein goal, and you're hitting your fiber goal and getting a nice balance of complex carbohydrates and fats as well. So you don't have to worry. I teach you how to eat to feel your best and also to lose weight too. So I have an incredible offer coming up that I want to share with you for those who want to take the next step with their health and fitness journey or their weight loss journey and actually find something that works for them. And I'm giving you all 50% off the next intake, which is the January intake that is starting on Monday, the 6th of January. So you can relax, enjoy Christmas, and know that, right, as soon as January gets here, I've got my plan that I'm going to get started with. So you'll be able to save £100 off the 8-week intake. And this is going to go on sale on the 29th of November at 9 a.m. on Black Friday morning to everyone that is on the wait list. So if you want to make sure you're on the wait list, you can drop me a message. But if you've got the link to this video and you're watching this, then you're already on the wait list because this was sent to the wait list. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you found a lot of value from it. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, whether it be about your journey, whether it be about my 8-week program, whether it be about any other services that I offer, please drop me a message. I would love to hear from you. But if not, good luck for Black Friday. I'm only releasing 50 spaces. So good luck in grabbing your space, and I will hopefully speak to you soon.